Welcome back! My name is ballerscuba. This is Video Games Over Time. We are still in 1984. Today, we're going to talk about Hogan's Alley. The story of Hogan's Alley takes us back to Nintendo. We have talked about Nintendo several times before. They have been responsible for, among others, Donkey Kong and Punch-Out! We last talked about Nintendo in our video on Duck Hunt. For Hogan's Alley, Nintendo turned once again to Shigeru Miyamoto. Miyamoto has been responsible for many iconic characters in games by Nintendo. Miyamoto would take the role of director and designer for Hogan's Alley. Hirokazu Tanaka, the composer for Duck Hunt, would also compose the sound for Hogan's Alley. The name Hogan's Alley comes from a shooting range that, at the time, was operated by the United States National Guard. Specifically, it is the nickname for the Special Police School at Camp Perry in northern Ohio. Hogan's Alley is a shooting game for the Famicom. In the game, the player shoots cardboard cutouts on a shooting range. The game will initially present 3 cardboard cutouts. The player must shoot the threats while leaving the innocent people unharmed. As the game progresses, the background will change and more cutouts will appear in each round. After 10 rounds, the player will play in a bonus round. In the bonus round, the player will shoot tin cans and try to get them onto ledges for points. After the bonus round, the game will start over. Each time the player does not shoot a threat, and each time the player shoots an innocent person, the player will lose a life. When the player loses all their lives, the game is over. Nintendo released Hogan's Alley for the Famicom on June 12, 1984. That is a brief backstory to Hogan's Alley. With that now told, it's time to play the game for ourselves. And here we are in the game. This is Hogan's Alley. Now, this is one of the later versions of the game, so not everything is going to be exactly the same as I described it originally, but they will show us all the different aspects of the game. And there are our 6 cardboard cutouts that we need to shoot. Once again, I do have a version that allows me to use my mouse here, so you will see a cursor on the screen that normally would not be there. This will allow me to be more accurate, but it'll also reduce my reaction time. I'm not going to be able to react as quickly because I'm using this system. All right, with that said, let's get into Hogan's Alley A. This will be the first section that I described. It's pretty standard. You have 3 cardboard cutouts, turn on you, shoot the bad guy, leave the good people. That professor over there, he might get shot accidentally a few times. Now, because of my slow reaction time, I might not be able to get through as much of this as I would like, but I get up to 10 misses, so I should be able to at least, absolutely crush that top score. If nothing else. All right, let's see here. Look, that was way too much time to give me. My hand slipped off the mouse for a second there, and I still got it. That's too much time. It'll change. And they will get harder for me. But yeah, that one criminal and the professor, they look very similar. These two right there. Eventually, they will show us 2 criminals, and that's when I start really not doing well. Now, in this version of the game, they never really update it to have 5 characters for me to shoot from. It's always just the 3. So, I just kind of go until, I believe round 15 is where I want to get to. Couldn't get to him in time. So that's my first miss, but as you can see, I'm already at 10,000 as opposed to the 12,000 top score. Alright, got him. And I left the cop. He can be fine. He's supposed to be on my team. Just you. And there we go, up to 15,000. Like I said, absolutely crush it. I don't know why the top scores in this game are so low. I feel like I got both of them. I definitely got this one. I've had some issues with that before. I haven't quite figured out what is going on with that, but yeah, I've had some issues. with me hitting the mouse and then it not actually hitting the one that I thought it was supposed to. All right, 20,000, and then we're on to round number 15. Only 3 misses so far. Yeah, you get this at round 15. Sharpshooter! Yay, I did it. I honestly haven't made it to whatever is next after sharpshooter. It probably happens around stage 30, knowing how this game works. I'm not sure how I missed that guy. Once again, just not entirely sure. There we go. But once again, just absolutely decimating the top score. I'm over double it now. All right, you and you. And then, yeah, I'll probably make it to round 25 or so, and then we'll probably just call it. Because it really is the same thing over and over again. This I believe is a timer, showing me how much time I have to react. So, as time goes on, they give me less and less time, and so I start losing more and more. So maybe we'll make it until I actually legitimately lose. No! Alright, well, I tried to shoot the cop instead of the actual guy. So we're up to 6 misses. Maybe I can make it to 30, but... Wow. That was very fast for me to shoot 2 things. But once again, like, with the mouse that I have, it's not going to give me enough time. Like, I can move it like about that fast and not that much more. But, you know, maybe I could increase the sensitivity, but I don't think it's necessarily worth it. Like, there's no way I could get both of those, no matter how fast I am. All right, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make it to 30, but we'll try here. I got 2 more to go, and not a lot of time to do it in. Luckily, they put it right in the middle for me. Okay, can I get through this one? That's the question. Nope! How? How? That was so fast. All right, so there's 39,000, and that is game mode A. Game mode B, I feel, is the best of the bunch, so let's go ahead and do that one. This one is kind of based on kind of like the real world scenario that you would probably train in if you're trained to be a police officer. Once again, like, I think about the professor and then I shot him anyway. This is honestly my favorite of the bunch. This one's the best. It feels like I'm actually in a real police scenario when I'm doing this and not just at some random shooting range that happens to be for police officers. Not like I shot him, but yeah, this one right here, they don't give you a lot of time on that. I am not doing well on this one, but as you can see, my top score is already very, very good, and there we go, I beat the top score. I hit him. I hit him. But yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. I should be able to make it through round 2. And I believe round 2 is when they call you a sharpshooter. But yeah, this one, you know, there's more variation in where enemies are coming from. It's not just pick quickly out of these 3. I tried to pull away at the last second. No, alright, I pulled away at the last second on the professor. No! I'm just trying to shoot everything, apparently. Yeah, you get good for beating the first round. I don't feel like I did good, though, but once again, I get the top score. Like, almost double it already, and I didn't even do well. You can live. Alright, and then it just kind of cycles through. I believe at round 3 is a palette swap, And to be honest, I don't like it. So I want to show off the palette swap if I can. You can see me hesitate on when everybody is orange, because I'm just not sure. All right, once again, this one. If I see somebody go over there, I'm going there first. Nope. Well, see, this one was a lot nicer to me than the first round. Yeah, I saw you. There we go. Doing all right. No. All right, we're moving on. Okay. No, I thought I had pulled away by then. Okay, we're good. We're good. Oh, there we go. Sharpshooter for getting through round 2. And then we can show off the color palette swap, which I don't think looks good. Somehow I was able to pull that one off. Yeah, as much as I feel like I'm not particularly good with this game, with this setup, you know, look at the score. Like, they weren't anticipating me getting a high score, it seems like. Ah! Alright. Yeah, in this one I tend to shoot the innocents more than miss the bad guys. Like, yeah, they tease this one first, so I'm waiting for this guy, but then they throw out somebody there. This one is so fast. Nope, yeah, alright, that's gonna do it. I tried. Alright, so yeah, 53,000. Got to round 3. I will accept that. Alright, now we can do the final one. I talked about this one as the bonus round, but this is game mode C in this version. This would be Trick Shot. Now, Trick Shot, I'm not a huge fan of, so like I might not actually make this one to the end. This one is very easy with the setup that I have, unless I miss. But basically, I want to get it to the 5,000. If you land on the middle section there, it will only give you 100 points. So you want to avoid that. There we go. Boom, already beat the high score. I'm not a big fan of the sounds that this one has. The sound of the cans being thrown is not my favorite. Okay. No, missed that one. There and there. But once you get the hang of it, once you get the idea of how high everything goes when you shoot it, it gets a lot easier. Okay, there. There. Yeah, I kind of had to save that one. Alright. Yeah, you get unlimited shots here, but I try to pace it out. I think it's round 5 that gives me Sharpshooter on this one. As long as you get, you know, some sort of point. Yeah, it's not a point total for Sharpshooter, it's just making it a certain amount of time, a certain amount of distance, a certain amount of rounds. There we go. So I might make it to Sharpshooter and just kind of stop, because this is of the different ones, I would say this is my least favorite of the different game modes. I feel like there's a reason that it was kind of shown as a bonus round in the original version. When I say original, I can't necessarily speak... There we go, Sharpshooter! I can't necessarily speak to the original Famicom. I honestly can't find original versions of the Famicom. It may be similar to this, but I'm talking about a version that we'll talk about later. Yeah, I might just call it here after 100,000. Just call that good. There we go. Through round 6. I missed 5. But I think that is going to do it. I think that showcases the game enough. So that is going to do it for Hogan's Alley. So that is the game played, and with the game played, let's talk about how it holds up today. Playing the game today, I do have to say that I had some fun playing it, but I only really wanted to play it for a little bit amount of time, and I went pretty much over that time playing it this time because of the different game modes. I would say that I have some mixed opinions on the different game modes. I would say game mode A, where they basically just present 3 in front of you and then you shoot one, probably the weakest part of the game. Once again, if you are playing more original versions of the game, eventually you'll see 5 cardboard cutouts for you to shoot from instead of just the 3, so it does get harder than that, but just the 3, not a huge fan of it. Game mode B, where you're actually kind of in an urban type environment, I would say was my favorite different game mode of that one. That one I would say is better than Duck Hunt for me. I would say Duck Hunt is better than Game Mode A, not as good as Game Mode B for me. And then Game Mode C with the trick shot, I understand why it was there. It's fun, but at the same time, I wouldn't recommend it too much. Once you kind of get the hang of it, it's all about timing and trying to map out where these cans are going to go. So, it was fun at first, but once I got to like round 3, I was already bored of it because it just went so quickly for me to figure out how it worked, and then it was just a matter of timing. So overall, it's a fun game, I would definitely say. In terms of the gameplay, I say that it holds up fairly well. But ultimately, when it comes to shooters like this, I need more. I don't just want targets. I want something else. I want progression. I want some sort of story as to why I'm shooting these things. But of course, this is more of a replication of actual police training. So you're not really going to get that in this game. In terms of the graphics, I think the graphics aged pretty well. I would say that a couple of the color schemes were a little bit off for me, but other than that, everything looked like it was supposed to, and that's always good. Miyamoto does do good work, and as the designer, he'd be responsible for that, but yeah, a bit of the color schemes on the characters were a bit off for me, but otherwise, I think the graphics held up well. The sound, I mean, it sounds like a gunshot. It's the same sound as Duck Hunt. I'm not sure that the sound designer worked all that hard on this one, but there is that. The little jingle, it's all right. It's nothing special, I would say. So the sound is decent. Nothing all that special, but it does what it's supposed to do. In terms of the replayability, I will not be going back to this one. I can't imagine too many people going back to this one at this point too often. For a modern gamer, there's just not a lot going on here. And when it comes to shooters, you have so many better options that I think you would have a hard time going back to this one. To be honest, I would recommend this only if you didn't have access to Duck Hunt. But you do have access to this game. I would say it's an either-or thing, really. You either should play Duck Hunt or Hogan's Alley. It's not really a matter of if you should play both. If you play one, you get a sense of the other. You just kind of need a general idea of the layout. So this one's kind of hard to recommend. I would recommend Duck Hunt over this game, even though there were certain aspects of this game that I enjoyed more than Duck Hunt, simply because of the influence of Duck Hunt as opposed to Hogan's Alley. And that's my modern take on the game. When the game was released, the game would prove to be successful. While not a lot of information exists about the Japanese release of the game, Hogan's Alley would prove influential enough to warrant other releases. Hogan's Alley would spawn ports. We will keep an eye on these as we continue. Nintendo, with another success on their hands, would continue to be a dominant force in the video game industry. We will, of course, hear from them again. We will also hear from Shigeru Miyamoto and Hirokazu Tanaka again in the future as well. They would also continue to create video games. That will do it for the story of Hogan's Alley for now. My name is ballerscuba. This has been Video Games Over Time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in our next video when the pieces fall into place.